keep it there. We can kind of go over that again. It's going to be like Groundhog Day, which really just happened, so.
Yeah. Hello!
We're back. Well, not technically, but we are here. Sorry for the little delay. I'm Trish.
I'm Courtney.
And thanks for tuning in. Not on a typical Friday.
No.
Happy Tuesday, February 12th.
Happy almost birthday to Trish.
You're cute.
Birthday
Okay,
Steve.
so yeah, I or Steve. I usually have my apron on. I want to apologize. I totally made a mistake, and I started to do this Facebook Live on my personal page. And to be honest with you, a lot of my family and friends probably didn't care one bit.
No.
So it was sort of sad that we invested that time and energy. But we are here. We're excited because we are going to be doing a giveaway of 10 surprise items.
Yep.
That's our way of saying I didn't pick them out yet. But so leave a comment if you're tuning in. We want to know where you're tuning in from and that you're joining us. Okay, so let's get back to the focus. What are we doing this morning?
We're going to go over some other changes that are happening with the global alignment of the chalk paint by Annie Sloan. So, like other paint lines, sometimes there's a drift that happens with certain colors, and with Annie's, as she's globally aligning through all her areas, some of the colors are just drifting slightly, so we want to make sure we cover some of those. We have covered other ones in their own Facebook Lives, and today we're going to cover 3 other ones.
Yeah, and we'll kind of work our way through the whole palette, but one of the things we wanted to talk about was the fact that we understand that this can cause confusion for the consumer. It would have been amazing if we could have said on December 30th, this change is happening, and everything that we have in the store from here on out is going to be packaged in a liter. You want to hold one of these up? Yeah. So let's talk about how do you know if the product you are looking at or are purchasing is something maybe you would have used a year and a half ago, the color, or if it's part of the global transitioning, okay? So hopefully you have a local stockist. You were talking about that in the Facebook Live we did on my private page. But that is the biggest thing. If you have anyone near you, again, go to the store, see the colors firsthand. It will always be the best thing to do. If you don't and you have someone that's in your state that you typically work with, you may want to give them a call. Otherwise, we are always available. As you can see, Amy's running around with the phone. We can answer your questions. You can text us. You can email us. We want to help you, and we want to help you before you purchase your product. Because you want to make sure that if you are trying to buy paint for a project you've already started, or was done a year ago, and now you want to add another item to the whole suite. Maybe it was a bedroom set. You may want to make sure you're checking in so that the product you're getting, the color is going to be a match. And for some, it absolutely is. But then for some others, it has changed slightly. So the packaging, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure. So the way you know the updated packaging from the packaging we used to have is, number one, they have these nice little color swatches on the front of them. So every container or every liter of paint that we have will now have a little color swatch on the front that tells you what color it is and actually shows you the color as well, which is really nice. If you had one of the quarts from the past, it would actually just have black writing with the color. Yeah, black little sticker writing that goes over the edge. Yeah.
I don't think these were on there either.
No, I think
this
those
is
are
something
new.
that's really, really
It's
helpful.
got nice little barcodes on the
Yep,
bottom.
so there's a little label on the bottom, and again, it tells you the name of the color, so that's a helpful way to know. And also,
the lids are a little bit different. So the lids actually remind me of the wax lids that we had. So they're a little bit, they have a bit more of a flat brim to them. They're not rolled over. Which means you also have to be a little bit more careful with them when you open.
Can I open this? We'll just do it really quick.
Absolutely.
We're going to do it every time. So before I open any paint, I always shake the container about, they say a good suggestion is 30 to 50 times. Some people, make sure that lid's on tight, do it upside down. Shake it up really good. Okay. And then the secret to this is just being patient. You want to use a can opener, a paint can opener preferably. If you don't have one of these, many people still use a screwdriver, but using a blunt edge is best, and you really want to be careful because when you put this in, you don't want to just lightly put it in. You want to really sort of shimmy that in, and you'll feel when you can't go any further. Did you hear that? Then you know.
Yeah.
You'll start to hear it kind of coming right back out.
You just slowly work.
Look at that. And some are going to pop out faster than others. Literally, that was 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay? Super, super easy if you understand the best way to go about it. So, this is the color Antoinette.
Mm-hmm.
That is a pretty, pretty color. I love that color. And you know what? What did you find when it came to Antoinette? I'm going to jump out of your space here.
Antoinette, we used to, I mean, we say all the time, it's like a pink ballerina slipper color. I think in some cases it looks a little bit purple.
I don't think so.
Really? Oh, see, I'm
love
picking up purple in my.
Or maybe would you think a little mauve, depending on
it could be mauve,
other
yeah.
colors influencing it.
It's a fancy word. That's a fancy word. I think it's a big word for me. I think the Antoinette in the Litre container, and I'm actually going to start painting on here, I think it's a bit brighter and more of like...
More of a neutral almost.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a neutral.
I'm okay.
Making a mess over there. So the paint in the Litre is a little bit thicker, but what that really means, and I love it actually, is you get a little bit better coverage with your paint, meaning you need less to cover
Oh, good.
the
So,
space. So yeah.
what color was this?
This was Antoinette in the Quart,
Oh, okay.
and then this is Antoinette in the Litre. So not too different, but just slightly,
Okay.
just a slight difference. I think it's a little bit brighter.
Well, it's also wet,
Yep.
and we haven't waxed it.
True.
So,
Very true. We can post pictures after that.
where's that little sample board you texted me a photo of?
It's on the back table. I just didn't leave enough spaces.
That's okay,
why I
but
didn't have
those are all the new colors?
it. No, those are the old ones.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have any of the new ones open there. So there's Antoinette. Barcelona,
This looks a little bit spicier, almost
yeah,
like pumpkin spice.
spicy. I like it. I like the way we
Is
do
this
it.
the new can?
Yes.
Do you want me to do it?
No, it's okay. See, that one just popped
Have you
right
opened
out.
this at all?
No.
So see, this is what I'm talking about. Like some
Some like
are
pop
really
right off.
super easy. I find some are a little bit more temperamental.
Yeah.
But just take your time, push that all the way in, and you'll hear it. I think the problem is many of us are just kind of putting it slightly in, and then that starts to warp your lid.
Yeah.
Push it all the way in, and then you start to bring it up.
Get a really good grab on it.
Yeah, and then it will absolutely come out. But it's just a little bit of
Ooh.
really pretty.
Ooh.
Here.
I like this though.
Yeah, this is definitely more of a sophisticated orange. I guess you can call it, from that perspective.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and it covers a lot better. So
put
the
it on
Barcelona
a little bit heavy.
orange,
Feel free, because we're going over that board.
The Barcelona orange in the Quart, I found I would almost have to do 3 or 4 coats to get really good coverage, or at least do a base of
There
like
is a
country
significant
gray.
difference in the colors.
There is significant. Wow. But I like it. I like this new.
Yeah. I kind of feel like this is the back side. I'd like to have it like that. So
You can do that.
that way it's got a nice edge,
Yeah.
and you're looking at the.
Yeah.
So that is a really pretty color.
Much
Yes.
better coverage. So out of the Quart, that was 2 coats.
That was
of
2 coats.
Barcelona.
This
And you
is
can-
one
Yep, and you can
from the
see
Litre.
still some underneath.
You can, if you
Yes.
want, feel free to. It might be in your way, but feel free to
just
put the
put it
quartz
right there.
behind each color. Yeah.
Okay.
Boy, I really do like that color.
I do. That's a really cool color.
Okay, so now we're talking about country gray.
Yeah, we have country gray. This is one of the colors that some of our customers were experiencing some changes in. And I think some of this might be lighting, because country gray in certain lights looks green. And then certain lights, it actually looks tan. That's what I've always found anyway. So I always cautioned our customers with some colors,
I wanna
take
do
a
this.
color chart home. Yeah, go for it. Take a color chart home and make sure the color is what you want it to look like in your light.
So when you look at it in the container, you think it's similar, but it really is not.
No, it's more of it has less of the green in it.
Absolutely.
A lot like old ochre, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any ochre in here per se. It's definitely more of a neutral.
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
seems definitely more gray, where in the past, country gray, we struggled with it because it didn't really have a lot of gray to it.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
And this one we actually have dried and wet.
so that's the country gray from the Quart container. Okay, interesting. So, chalk paint, we'll get back to these colors. Chalk paint has been around for over 30 years. It has only been in North America for really the last 10. So for 20 years prior, it was in, obviously, England, all throughout Europe and other countries, but it is definitely newer to us in the States. And Annie has always been, the driving force of chalk paint. She created chalk paint. It's a trademark registered name. This global alignment allows for us now to have accessibility to pigments that were not always available. Also, many of the colors, some of the colors I should say, had some black in them, which sometimes could make mixing a little difficult, and it doesn't anymore. It's definitely and always been a heavy-bodied paint. I think what's really important with using chalk paint is that people realize that you want to get it on the surface and leave it alone. Like, apply it. You don't want to be heavy-handed. You don't want to be continuously playing with your paint. We've always said that since day one. Because it is a thicker paint. It's not going to have, extended open time for you to come back to it 5 minutes later and still keep brushing. So that's something just to keep in mind. But,
A lot of people are saying they would rather use the new country gray.
oh,
They like it a lot better.
that's great.
There you go.
Well, we have a lot of it in-house, so feel free to stop on down, purchase a liter of country gray or a 120 milliliter sample pot. We have plenty of it here. I think the biggest thing we want to just drive home is just to remind everybody if you have a question on a color, just call, text, email. All of us here, anybody can help you out.
Yes.
This was just going to be sort of an impromptu, sort of quick Facebook Live. I know we want to go through pretty much every color.
Yeah.
So Courtney's actually going to be posting a list of all the colors and when they've either been discussed or when they will be discussed. And then after these quick videos, we always save them over to our YouTube channel, which is The Purple Painted Lady, so you can just jump back in. We will include some photos underneath this Facebook Live post of this board once all the paint is dry. And also we can make those sample boards up for each one and have some images of those.
Yeah.
So, any questions at all? No? Okay.
Sweet.
Don't forget, if you can, leave us a message. Let us know where you're tuning in from, even once this video is over.
Yep.
We always see that. We see your questions. We typically try to respond to them all.
Yep.
And hopefully, if you don't mind, you can become part of this.
Yep, this is our text alert system. So if you like watching our Facebook Lives and you want to be on when we're live, you can get a text message 10 minutes before we go live by sending the word chalk paint to the number 74121. If you have a smartphone, it's going to try to autocorrect chalk paint to 2 words. Just make sure it's still at 1 when it sends. You'll get a notification that you've been entered in the text system, and then if you want to get out at any time, you just text the word stop and it opts you out.
Cool. Very cool. Go visit your local stockist. Give us a call. Have a great day.